Hey guys, it's Thursday. Huge slate of hockey games. You're watching Puck Time. I'm the Prez, Lawrence Presman, co-founder of Wager Talk TV, owner of Sports Memo, Wager Talk, and the iconic Gold Sheet. Lots to talk about today. So many games on tap. The legend himself, Dave Cokin, with us, and of course, my best buddy and the nicest guy around on Tuesdays, Carmine Bianco. Hey, Carm, I see you're wearing a Juve shirt.
No, it's Adidas today.
Oh, it's black and white. It's all the same to me.
It's laundry day, so I'm washing all the Juve stuff today. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good. 9-1 run. Had a winner yesterday with the Flyers and Blues over 5.5. I posted at 5.5. I told everyone it was good at 6. I was pretty sure that line would move. It just looked like a good spot for a totals playing and over. And I'm full of energy, man. And I think I posted on Twitter yesterday, I've been doing the keto diet. Today's day 11 of this keto diet. I'm Italian, so you tell a guy not to have any carbs and no sugar, and you think I'm going to turn into one nasty individual. Well, I'm already nasty, so I can't get any worse. But I'm definitely dropping. I think I'm definitely dropping some pounds. This is a 3-week process, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm feeling good.
Excellent. Well, best of luck. I am not on the keto diet, and Dave, I take it you're not either.
No. You want a cannoli? Come.
When I get to Vegas, I'm coming for the Super Bowl, so I'll be booking everything today.
I've had 3 birthdays. Well, my birthday was Monday. I've had 2 birthday dinners. I passed on Monday because I wanted to watch the football game. But birthday dinners the last 2 nights and one more tonight. So I take advantage of these situations. 7-1-1 run in the NHL. So nice. Right there with you, Carm. I had the Blackhawks at plus 160 last night, which was a real nice payoff. And we'll look to add on with some more tonight.
So that leads us right into our promo, I guess, gentlemen. 2 days left of this promotion. Half price for either one of our NHL seasons and playoffs. I'm on a 9-1 run.
Nice.
Cokin's on a 7-1 run. Carmine's on a 9-1 run. All of us are up units in the NHL season. So take advantage of this offer, guys. Both of you can tweet it out. $345 for all of the NHL season and playoffs. Carm 345, Dave 345, Prez 345. Super easy to remember. Boys, let's just get straight into it. I mean, there are so many games to talk about right now. Let's start off. We're going to do 4 in depth and then the last minute of play. Where we'll take a look at all the rest of the games. Boston, minus 120 against Pittsburgh. And, well, something has to give with this Pittsburgh team at some point. They're playing outstanding hockey, Dave Cokin. They've won 4 in a row.
They are.
They just laid the smackdown on Minnesota, and Crosby did it again. Another incredibly creative move behind the net. I love how he's not relinquishing the mantle quite yet to Connor. Boston Bruins lost 2 in a row, shut out against Columbus. Where are you going in this one, my friend?
Well, the important thing for the Bruins right now is what's going to be the goaltending situation, because Rask caught the elbow to the head the other night. That's another concussion, and we don't know how long he's going to be absent. And that means Halak, who's better playing like half the time or a little less than half the time, is now going to have to shoulder the burden for at least a little bit. And that could have an impact on the Bruins. I don't want to go against this Penguins team right now. And one thing we've seen out of the Bruins all year is they're great with rest off a win, not so great coming off a loss. And if the game gets to overtime, Boston's not real good in situations like that. So I guess I'm going to have to lean to the Penguins here.
Dave, what did you think of that hit on Rask?
It was a cheap shot. Got to be suspension.
I watched it 3 or 4 times, and he did swing through, but I couldn't
Here's the
definitively say
problem.
it was dirty. It could have been an accident.
Well, I think it was. I think he could have avoided it. Here's the problem. I see it is that the breakaway goals. The goal just flies off the little things when there's any contact, and players aren't worried about getting hurt going in like that. When back in the old days, when it was basically cemented into the ice, and you really had to do some damage to get it out of there. If you ran into the goal, it hurt. Okay, and I think players have come to the conclusion that it's all right to just come roaring in there because all that's going to happen is the goal will come off its hinges and nobody gets injured. So maybe they ought to consider putting the goals back the way they used to be.
Yeah, they used to use a PVC pipe pretty much into the ground through the ice and the net placed on top of it. Now they've got sort of that rubbery plastic thing, and whereas you went full bore into the net before and you broke a rib.
Yep.
Now you just move the net with all the padding that players have nowadays. So I fully get them, charging at the net. They come in from the wings and they just head straight on an angle to that goal. It's how they score, but it's how goalies get injured. You've got to protect the goalies in this league.
I agree.
Okay, well, this is a betting show, not a goalie safety show. So, Dave, I'm hearing that you're going to pass on this game.
Yeah, I think so. It's the game of the night to watch, but I don't think I have a good opinion on it.
Carm, I like the Bruins here, and I understand stepping in front of Pittsburgh right now is tough, but this Boston team is not going to go on an extended losing streak. They're getting a really small price at home at -120, and Pittsburgh's record is way better than they are as a team. -120 feels low. I like Boston.
Yeah, excuse me. I gave this play out on Twitter this morning in a video as a free play on the Bruins at a short price. Two bad games. Obviously, that one in Philadelphia where they blew the lead, and then they get shut out in Columbus. They're heading home off of two very subpar performances, and they were taken to overtime in that game against the Islanders. So it could have been a disastrous road trip where they were heading home 0-3, but they picked up one win. They're a much better team in the TD Garden. I think they're like 15-2-9 or something like that, or 16-2-9. It's sort of when you look at the form of these two teams over the last 10 games, everything sort of leans to taking the Penguins. But I'm trying to be a little counterintuitive here in taking the Bruins. I think that they're going to play better at home. They seem to have the Penguins number at TD, where they've won 11 of the last 12 games at home against the Penguins. Again, in a stat that I gave out the other day, where I think it was Winnipeg had won 9 straight against Vancouver. I understand when you go back years, it's obviously different teams, but it's a thing where sometimes a team holds over another team. It's just the way it is. Washington and Boston, we see it all the time. So I'm going for the Bruins here. I think they come out a little hungry. This isn't Minnesota that Pittsburgh is playing. They're going to find a team that's a lot tougher, that's going to hit you in the corners, and it's going to play a physical game. And whether the Penguins are ready to play that kind of a game tonight off of a free, fast skating back and forth type of win over Minnesota remains to be seen. But I'll take the Bruins. We're playing well at home and have beaten Pittsburgh 11 of the last 12 at home to win again tonight at a very short price. And it's Halak in net tonight, and it looks like it's going to be Tristan Jarry for the Penguins.
Great name. Carmine Bianco, Dave Cokin, I'm the Prez. All three of us are found at wagertalk.com. You're watching Puck Time. A quick heads up, the betting edge is on a long break. Now that college football is over and NFL is basically winding down. The show, like last year, will return in September. First pitch starts at the end of March. That's a baseball show Dave Cokin and myself do every day. I promised you guys a baseball promotion for Dave today, and I was unable to deliver. I will have them ready for next week, but you can get his NHL season for half price. Dave 3, 4, 5. Boys, Toronto, and they're playing Calgary tonight, and I mean, to me, it's like Carm, I'll go to you first. The Leafs are 8-2 to the over in their last 10. There's absolutely no reason to not bet the over pretty much in every Leaf game right now. Muzzin's out, but he's not out for much longer. I think 3 or 4 more games with the break coming. And Riley's out. They're very, very light defensively. And this team can't stop scoring. I got to look at the over in this game.
Yeah, I think you do on a couple of counts. It's Anderson and Riddick in net tonight, if I pronounce his name right. And, he played well in Montreal. He stopped 35 to 37 shots. But ultimately, he's lost 16 games. This is one of those occasions where they haven't scored for him. Now you have Calgary going into Toronto. And as well as the Leafs are scoring, and I think they're the number 1 team in scoring, they are the 4th worst team defensively. Only San Jose, New Jersey, and Detroit have allowed more goals than the Leafs have allowed this season. It's something that if you put sort of the pulse of your thumb on it, you have to worry about this going into the postseason for the Leafs, because it's not something that you can just turn on and say we're going to play defensively in the playoffs. I think they need to make a move at the trade deadline to shore up their defensive corps, because I understand the Leafs can score, but in the playoffs, ultimately defense wins. We saw it with St. Louis last year, and any team that makes a run always does it defensively. That said, look at the Leaf games: 11 goals, 12 goals, 7 goals, 10 goals. They're letting them in, but they're scoring. Those lines are just working for the Leafs. Matthews is having such a good season right now. We talk about Matthews and McKinnon, who's better? And
McKinnon.
And I understand you say McKinnon, but to his team right now, Matthews means so much. I think if you take Matthews off that team, Toronto struggles immensely. So, but in looking at the game, 160 on the Leafs. As much as I don't like laying these lines, I would take the 3-way line here with the Leafs. I think they win in regulation time. You only have to lay $1.10 with them. I don't want to lay $1.60, but definitely I would look at the over here.
Yeah, and I agree, Dave, with the Leafs too. I mean, I'm not going to play them because I like the over that much. But I mean, Calgary has just come off a 5-game winning streak. They lost to Montreal 2-0, and I feel like we're going to see a 3-4 game losing streak for Calgary before they turn it around again. So yeah, I'm with Carm on the Leafs in regulation, but I much prefer the over.
Toronto has a little revenge motive because they lost this Canadian battle earlier this season at Calgary. But I can't disagree. I mean, look, the other night, they're coming off of just a disastrous defensive weekend, and I'm thinking, well, they're going to batten down the hatches defensively and try and win a lower scoring game, and it turns into a crazy affair again. So Toronto is just all offense right now. And if you just bet the over blind in every Maple Leafs game, you're probably going to win more than you lose.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Boys, Vegas Golden Knights. Whenever you need a win, head to Ottawa. They've lost. They've lost 8 in a row. Vegas has lost 4 in a row, but they have a new coach now, and a really, really good coach. But obviously, this coach is not going to affect the style of play drastically tonight. I mean, he literally just joined the team. But Vegas is a much better team than Ottawa, and I think all the players got a real wake-up call with the firing of this coach. I think we're going to get the best Vegas that we've seen in a while. I don't want to take minus 185, Dave, but listen, I'm happy to take minus 115 in regulation, so that's where I'm looking. I can't see Ottawa winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a stunning move with Gallant. I don't think it was certainly not widely expected. But when you examine the Golden Knights, this is what happens when you've got high expectations. You get to the Stanley Cup Finals the first year, a good season last season, which kind of got controversial ending with that ridiculous penalty against San Jose that literally did cost them the series. But this year, the big signing of Mark Stone after they traded for him, and the thought process was this team's going to be a contender. And as of last night, 5th place in the Pacific Division, 19th overall in points. Not playing well lately, not playing with a lot of fire. Goaltending has been suspect, but there's been some other issues on the team as well. They had a streak. They did break it last game, even though they lost. They'd gone 6 straight games where they'd given up the first goal, playing really poor in the first period. And DeBoer was available. And I think that precipitated the move here. It's like, hey, DeBoer's going to sign someplace else to be their coach. He's got a really good track record. He took the Devils. And it wasn't a great Devils team. He took them to the Stanley Cup Finals. He took the San Jose Sharks to the Stanley Cup Finals with Martin Jones as his goaltender. That's no mean feat. So I think that the combination of things led to the Golden Knights making a quick decision. And as Carm mentioned, I actually was not aware of this because I was working on some stuff this morning. Gallant's already found his new landing spot with the next expansion team. He'll be the head coach in Seattle. So I think it works out for everybody. I think the Golden Knights get a wake-up call, and they're going in and facing a team that's lost 8 straight. Find some way to play the Golden Knights tonight, whether it's puck line, a -1, regulation. I think the Golden Knights are going to come to play tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you as well, and I have no problem with the puck line either. Carm, where are you going in this one?
Yeah, as far as the Gallant thing, it's something I heard last night coming home on the Fan 590 Sports Radio here that he was in Seattle and they were working on finalizing the deal for him to be the new coach. I haven't seen anything in the news. Usually that trends, and I haven't seen anything trending on social media.
Okay.
But as far as the game goes, this is one that I had circled a little while ago as far as taking a total on, and I'll probably release it a little later on as a client play, in addition to the play that I already have up there. These two teams played one hell of a game back in October, and I watched that game, and it was I had 93 shots on net. I know the game went to overtime, but Vegas had 54 shots on net. Ottawa had 39, and it was just an end-to-end game, and yet it still finished under. The game finished 3-2 in a shootout for the Golden Knights. And I just thought to myself, if I can get a 6 on this game, I would definitely take the over. And a 6 is available. I think you're laying about $1.20 juice. So I agree with you guys on taking Vegas, especially with this coaching change. Vegas in regulation time, laying a very small number, and I'm going to take the total here.
Yeah, and I like the total too. I mean, I honestly feel like Vegas could put up 5 or 6 tonight themselves. So I'm with you on that, Carm. Great thought. Guys, real quick, half price special. It's available up until tomorrow at night, midnight Eastern time. You could get Dave Cokin for half price, Dave345. Tweet that out. You can get Carm's NHL season playoffs for half price, Carm345. And you can get mine, Prez345. Dave Cokin, I got a text last night from a friend of mine. He's bald. He likes Juventus. No names. And he makes limoncello. He said, I'm 9-1 in my last 10, and so is Prez. This is embarrassing.
Well, I should be better than you.
Carm.
I spend more.
Carm. You are better than me.
Yes, I just don't have your money, but whatever. Or your stunning good looks and hair. How's that?
Well, you definitely don't have my hair, baby. Anyway, Dave, Carm and I both have a play up tonight. One of us is going to be 10-1, or both of us is going to be 10-1. If you had to bet, which one of us is going to be 10-1?
I would have to know the plays first.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were just going to go on our, incredible handicapping ability.
Well, you signed my check, so I'll go with you.
Okay, there you go, Carm. It's me.
I'm not stupid, okay? I might look it, but I'm not.
Arizona, Vancouver. I just wanted to shout out to Elias. I've been watching hockey for many years. This guy twice in one season accidentally shot the puck at somebody's face, stopped in the middle of the play to make sure that guy was okay. I've never seen that in my whole life. I mean, he clearly is a genuinely awesome dude.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, it happened twice this season with Patterson.
Who are you? Oh, Patterson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the kid's he's tremendous. What a talented guy. And, the only downside for him is he's in Vancouver. And unfortunately, the Canucks don't get a lot of national play because, all their games are late on the West Coast. And but, boy, he's one of the best young players in the league.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is, he must be one of the best human beings in the league. Dave, nobody stops in mid-play and checks on their opponent.
Oh, you don't think Brad Marchand would do that?
Yeah, he might lick him.
Poor Brad.
Arizona is 17-9 on the road. They're unbelievable on the road. Seattle Seahawks of hockey.
New.
What, Dave?
It's nothing new. I mean, the Coyotes have been better on the road than at home for some time now. Same thing last year. It wasn't this dramatic, but I don't know what their problem is at home. Well, I do. They just don't. They don't have the best following in the world. Let's put it that way.
Think?
Whenever there's a game in Arizona, the other team's got as many jerseys as the Coyotes do. And the shame of that is that this Coyotes team now, especially since they picked up Hall, they're a really exciting team. I mean, they're playing a lot more offensive style than they had been previously, where it was a grinded-out team try and win the game 3-1. I mean, they're playing wide open now. They're scoring a ton of goals. They're fun to watch. They're a really entertaining team. So fans in Arizona need to get behind that team, and otherwise they're going to lose them. They'll end up in Houston down the road.
They will be in Houston, Dave. With that said, tonight they're on the road again, playing the Vancouver Canucks, and it's basically a pick 'em. Vancouver's minus 115. I'm going with what you were talking about, Dave. I think we're going to see some goals in this game. 5.5 looks like a short number. I like over the total, but I'm going to stay away from the side.
You know what? A lot of things happening with Arizona that we expected to have happen. When Kemper got hurt, the first reaction was, well, they got Ronta, and that should be okay. And I remember commenting right here on Puck Time, it's like, it's not okay, because Ronta can't stay healthy for more than a week. And sure enough, he's had a lower body injury, he's had an upper body injury. And thankfully for them, Aiden Hall has come up and done a good job as basically their third-string goaltender, who's kind of playing more like their first-string goaltender right now. But I just wonder about whether this team's going to be able to hang in until Kemper gets back, and whether Kemper will be at the same level he was earlier, because Kemper was playing at a spectacular level, clearly an all-star level, and have to wonder about how he'll be when he returns. Arizona's having to outscore their opponents right now. The good news for them is they're capable of doing it. They've got a dynamic offense right now, and the good news for them is Kessel, who's been kind of, I think maybe you could say, a bit of a disappointment so far this season. He looks like he's getting on track as well, which gives them two really dynamic lines now. Arizona on the road has been too good to fade. Yeah. So to me, at the Coyotes at this price are not totally unattractive. I have not finished capping this game yet, so I'm not locking myself into a side there. But my first impulse would be Arizona.
Carmine Bianco.
Yeah, normally a team coming home off a 5-game road swing, which Vancouver did, Tampa, Florida, Buffalo, Minnesota, and Winnipeg, coming home, I'd want to fade them the first time out. And also considering the fact that Arizona has won the last 6 in Vancouver, although two of those were a preseason games, so you got to toss those 2 out. But Arizona plays very well at home. This is one of those weird games where I think it's lined perfectly. The total 5.5 is perfect. It's where it should be. But the Canucks they're just scoring at home. It probably should be a 6. They're averaging over their last, 6 games, they're averaging just over 4 goals a game, 4.2 goals a game.
And they've given up a bunch in those games too. Yeah,
and they're scoring 7-5 games, 4-2 games, 5-4 games against where they beat the Golden Knights. I'm still sour about that one, even a month later. But anyways, regardless, I would take a shot here at the 5.5 because of the goaltending situation. And I agree with Dave, and he did talk about it earlier. With Kemper out, you put it's like taking a starter off of any other team out of the lineup, and you're asking the backup to take the brunt of the games. It's going to wear on the guy, and eventually there's a drop off defensively, and we've seen that with Arizona. They've got, they're getting the scoring, but they're allowing. This is a team that's only allowed, I think it is 128 goals this season, and then you start allowing 3 to 4 goals a game. It's not what normally happens to them, but it is what's happened to them lately. 4-3, 4-3 is what they've allowed their last few games. So I'm going to take the over here, 5.5.
Carmine Bianco, Dave Cokin, and me, the Prez, wagertalk.com. Guys, it's time for the last minute of play. Before we get into that, one more promo code to give you all. I have a 5% play in the NFL. It's likely the last of the season. I'm on a 5-1 NFL 5% run, but wait. I'm on an 11-4 NFL run, but wait. I'm on an 11-2 all sports 5% run. I'm smoking freaking hot. I have an NFL 5-star. All my viewers get it for half price. Every time I have one of these, I will always be giving them out for half price to my Puck Time listeners. Use the promo code Prez NFL20. Prez NFL20. God, my friend just posted his Scrabble board. He came up with equator. Got the Q on a triple letter against the I, so it was a triple twice. Scored 155. That is bloody impressive, and I play Scrabble. That's my average game score, for Christ's sake.
No, I will challenge you at Scrabble the next time.
I'm terrible, dude.
I'll take you both on.
I will lose. I suck.
Oh yeah, you will.
What's your highest score, Dave?
I haven't played. Oh, I don't. 6 and change.
What? Okay, I take Dave over you, Carmen. I give him -210 odds.
Yeah, I use a lot of the words that come out of the medical dictionary, so you may have to look those up.
Yeah. Is 14 words, letters.
Oh, like quone.
Okay, I have laid the line. -210 on Dave.
Quone? What is that? Is that
to quone someone?
I thought, that's
to quone someone.
I was going to say that clone with a speech impediment.
It's a line out of Seinfeld when Kramer was trying to cheat at Scrabble with Jerry's mom, and he's like, to quone. It's in the medical dictionary. To quone someone. So.
Well, listen, -210 for Dave, and I'm prepared to videotape the game.
I haven't played in years, so I don't think I'm going to get a score like that, but I think I can still handle good number of.
But equator is a really strong word.
It is.
Yeah.
Get the files, get the Q and the U.
Yeah, and it's 7 letters. Anyway, last minute of play, guys. 10 seconds each. Florida -180 against the Kings. I think this is going to be a destruction. Florida -1.5 for me. What do you like, Dave?
Panthers with their offense. Kings with a shaky defense. They've been on the road, too. I can see this being a high-scoring game.
Carmine?
I'm going to go Panthers, but I'm going to take them on the three-way line, regulation line, at -125. I don't want to leave the other price.
Speaking of regulation line, I like that for the Islanders. Rapid revenge spot, playing the Rangers. Yeah. Total is 6. I like the Islanders in regulation. Dave?
Islanders scored 18 seconds into the game the other night at the Garden, and then got blasted. 6 straight goals by the Rangers. Ooh, this might be a payback here.
Carmine?
Yeah, the auditions for the Leafs backup goalie spot continue for Georgiev. He's in net tonight for the Rangers. It's Varlamov for the Islanders. Same thing, regulation line for the Islanders. I think this one's going to be chippy tonight.
Philadelphia on a back-to-back, outstanding win last night. Montreal on a back-to-back, outstanding win by them last night. Why? Because they scored a goal, and for them, they should count that as a win. Philadelphia -135. I mean, look, The Habs stink. I like Philly here. Carm?
I like Philly here. I think the line is too low right now. It's at 135. I think it should be about 15 cents higher. I understand that we're waiting on to find out who's in net for Philadelphia tonight. It's priced for Montreal, but obviously Carter Hart's injured right now, so it's either going to be Elliott or it could be Alex Lyon in net tonight. And
don't you have to go with Lyon here?
Yeah,
I mean, Elliott played a hell of a game last night, but it's Montreal coming in. If there's a spot to use the backup goalie, it's here.
Yeah, I think so as well too. And he has NHL experience, so it's not like you're throwing a rookie in there. And he's had a very good season down in the AHL. Goals against average at like 2.8 or something like that. I think it's 2.83. So it's Flyers for me, and they have such a great record in the Eastern Conference this year. So I'll take the Flyers here.
Yeah, and a great home record, 15-7. Dave, what do you like?
Yeah, and listen, they're going to have some energy, even though it's 2 games and 2 nights. That's a great win for them last night because they're up 3-1 in regulation.
Down 3-1.
No, they were up. I watched the game. They were up 3-1.
That's right. They were. My bad. My bad.
And then the Blues get a power play goal, and then they tie it, and then the Flyers get a really bad too many men on the ice penalty, and it's like, oh boy, they're going to blow this game. But they held on to get it into overtime. The goalpost made a great save in the overtime. And then they got down the other way and scored. That was a terrific 2 points for a team that has struggled on the road. But at home, the Flyers have played well. The Canadiens kind of looked like they're dead from the neck up. I mean, they immediately gave up a shorthanded goal last night to the Blackhawks. You got a guy, Zach Smith has 2 goals on the entire season. He got 2 goals in 2 shifts last night for the Blackhawks. And it was an easy win for Chicago. I mean, they were the much better team in that game. Montreal has not played well with no rest off a loss. I think the Flyers are the side here.
Yeah, Dave, just quickly, I watched yesterday's Puck Time, and Lauren says there's no way, I don't know what the exact words were. I think he said there's no way in hell anyone should ever lay $1.70 with the Canadiens. And I'm like,
he's right.
And I'm like, did he state the wrong line? So I went to check the line, and the Habs were favored. And I just thought to myself, what is wrong here?
I got plus 160 on the game. And I don't.
Yeah, I got plus 168.
Nice. I don't play a lot of big dogs in hockey, but I looked at that one. And it's like, well, if they get me, they get me. I'm taking the Blackhawks here.
Boys, we got to get this moving. I think New Jersey is live. They didn't play good last game, but this team is scoring, and they are playing much better. I certainly cannot take Washington at minus 325.
No, neither can I. But the Capitals, they're going to remember this last game with New Jersey because they got beat 5-1. I'm not going against the Capitals.
No, I think you got to pass here.
Well, that's what I am.
Yeah, Carm.
Yeah, it's for me it's a pass just because I can't lay a puck line where you're laying juice as well too. I've always said that never lay juice, and I'm not laying 320, and the 3-way line is outpriced as well too. No opinion on the total because this could easily be a 5-1 Caps win and everyone's happy and it still stays under.
By the way, I want a very quick observation here. A couple of years ago when the Golden Knights came into the league, Pittsburgh left Fleury unprotected because, they weren't going to re-sign him. The Capitals just signed Backstrom, who's one of their 2 big free agents, to a new contract. They've got Samsonov, who's their goalie of the future. You want to make a gentleman's bet they don't protect? He's going to be a free agent anyway, but do you think there's something in the works for them to move Holtby to Seattle?
100% that's going to happen.
Huh? Think so?
They can't even afford to sign Holtby right now.
No,
so
he's not going to be back with Washington.
Yeah. So no, there's no bet from my perspective. I think Seattle's going to see exactly the same as what Vegas saw, and that is they've got to get themselves as good a netminder as they can. And although Holtby is no Fleury, he's a veteran netminder and a guy that will really help that young team.
And he's got a Stanley Cup ring, too.
Yeah, and you got Ovechkin with 1 year left on his contract. I have to believe that with Backstrom getting a 5-year, at the end of next year, they sign Ovechkin probably to like a 4-year contract. Because there's talks about these 2 guys came into the league together and they want to leave the league together, Ovechkin and Backstrom.
Oh, how sweet.
No,
Guys,
it'll happen.
Enough.
Heartwarming story.
Yeah, heartwarming. Yeah. Columbus, I can't get in their way, Dave. What do you like?
Exactly my thoughts. This team, I mean, Torts is just doing an amazing job, or Fonzie, if you like to call him that. And I'm not going to try and beat him at this point.
Dave,
So,
I know you liked Sullivan for Coach of the Year. If Columbus makes the playoffs,
it's 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
With those two. Carolina's a tough opponent, though. So this is no easy game for Columbus, and we'll see what happens.
I lean on under, Carm. I know it's only 5.5, but I could see this being a 2-1, 3-2 game.
Yeah, you're bang on this one. Listen, on paper, the Hurricanes are a better team. But on the ice right now, they're playing as equals, these two teams, and playing very well defensively. I'm taking the under here.
Dave, I'll make
quick
this.
note, by the way. Double revenge for Carolina in that game. They've lost the prior two meetings to the Blue Jackets this season.
Yeah, there was a game we spoke about at the beginning where a team has a hectagonal revenge or whatever it is. They lost 8 in a row to that team or something.
I'm just talking about in season.
Oh, okay. Nashville, -1.5 on the puck line, -2.5. This team's going to destroy Anaheim tonight.
I wouldn't trust them to lay 2.5 goals because they just don't have the offense to do that. But it was a decent 2-game trip for Nashville. I thought they played well enough to win against Edmonton. They just didn't, and they did win the previous game against Winnipeg 1-0. They're paying a lot more attention to themselves, to what they're supposed to do defensively. But and it's still the one nagging problem, Nashville -2 on special teams in their last game. Their special teams are bleeping atrocious. And I think it's going to keep them out of the playoffs. But they should win tonight against Anaheim.
Carm?
Yeah, that power play is just, it suffered last year. It's suffering this year. I still think they win tonight. I not flip-flopped on the total. I wanted to put the total out originally, and it went to 6. I see that it's at, there's 5.5 -120. I'm playing the over, but I'm not putting it out to anyone. 5.5. I think this game goes over the total.
I think you can make a case for a money line parlay with Nashville and Vegas tonight. Two teams with new coaches that figure to be playing hard. You won't get a big payoff, obviously. They're big favorites, but you certainly reduce your liability risk with a 1-unit parlay on the two.
Well, I'll be taking that parlay and I'll be throwing Kansas City on the money line in with it, so I'll have something going into Sunday.
There you go.
Minnesota +140 against Tampa Bay. And look, Tampa Bay 9-13 on the road this year, but that's the full season. This team is much better than it was. -161 tonight. I think they're going to win in regulation, Dave.
This has not been a good stop for Tampa Bay over the years. They've lost their last 7 visits to Minnesota. Bruce Boudreau hoping to make out a correct lineup tonight so he doesn't have to play the entire game.
That was funny.
Defensemen. That was a gaffe. And it didn't help him against the Penguins, that's for sure. So a little more attention to detail tonight for the Wild. No play.
Carm?
I did say I've been on this Tampa side, and I did say that I think in this month with the schedule from last week going forward, that they probably wouldn't lose for the rest of this month more than 2 games. They dropped 1 to the Devils. There's a scheduling spot coming up. I think they get a win tonight ahead of the game in Winnipeg tomorrow.
I like the over in the Dallas-Buffalo game, 5.5. I can see this game hitting 6, Dave.
Well, this Stars team, talked about them the other night.
Yeah.
They make teams play their style. And that was a really good performance. They go down 2-0 at Colorado.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that game, Dave. Now move on, Dave.
Well,
that game.
Okay. Well, anyway,
that game is distant memory.
Okay. Well, anyway, they should handle this team.
Carm?
You guys are going to hate me here, but I am taking the upset here.
Oh!
I am taking the upset here with the Sabres.
Yes,
all right.
go Carmine.
They came off a couple of wins, albeit it was against Vegas and against Detroit. But they're playing well. They did beat Dallas earlier this year, or early in the season, 4-0 in Buffalo. And the Sabres team, they just they have a very favorable schedule. The next 11 games, where with 8 of them at home,
all against Montreal.
the Ottawas and the Detroits and the Anaheims, games where they should really pick up points. Again, I think this team is a long shot to make the playoffs, but they can give their fans hope over the next 11 games. And
just make sure Carter Hutton's not playing.
Yeah, it's last I looked. I'm just making
Check
sure
the
here.
goalies.
It's Allmark and Bishop are both confirmed. So
Guys,
I'm going to take the Sabres to surprise them.
Guys, last game of the show, real quick. Prez NFL 20. That's a promo code you use at Wager Talk to get my 5% NFL play for half price. Dave Cokin's NHL season, half price. Dave 345. Same with Carm. Carm 345. Same with me. Prez 345. I'm passing on this Colorado game. Dave.
So am I, because Colorado right now can't play a third period. You got to finish off your opponents, and they're not doing it right now. They're in a slump, so I can't lay that much of a price.
Yeah.
But I don't want San Jose.
Carmine.
Completely agree. 4 losses in a row until we see them turn the corner. I'm passing. I can't lay that price. That's nuts.
Boys, outstanding job. A privilege to host a show with the two of you. Dave Cokin and Carmine Bianco. You can find them both at wagertalk.com. Check tomorrow's Puck Time. Andrew McGinnis and Alex B. Smith. For now. Later, everybody. Thanks so much for watching Puck Time.
Okay, so I guess tomorrow I'm doing the show.